Welcome to this Halloween deep dive,
Ooh, fun.
where we'll be exploring the surprisingly deep roots of this spooky holiday.
Yeah.
You might be surprised to learn that it's not just about costumes and candy.
Right.
Halloween has some fascinating spiritual and esoteric layers just waiting to be uncovered.
Exactly.
Tonight, we'll be peeling back those layers,
Yeah.
taking you from ancient Celtic festivals
Mhm.
to the thinning veil between worlds.
Yeah,
And exploring how Halloween allows us to confront our fear of death.
that's a big one.
It is a big one.
It's true. The origins of Halloween are shrouded in mystery and steeped in traditions that go back centuries.
Let's start with the basics.
Okay.
We all know the word Halloween comes from All Hallows Eve, the night before All Saints' Day.
Right. A Christian holiday honoring all saints.
Okay.
But the true origins of Halloween lie much further back in time with the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain,
Samhain.
pronounced Samhain,
So
celebrated from sunset on October 31st to sunset on November 1st. It marked the end of the harvest and the beginning of winter, a significant transition for the Celts.
So as the days grew shorter and the air turned crisp,
Yes.
this time marked a pivotal shift for the Celts, right?
Yes.
Was it just about the change in seasons, or was there more to it?
Much more.
Okay.
The Celts believed that during Samhain, the veil separating the living from the dead thinned,
Oh, wow.
allowing spirits to cross over.
Mm.
Imagine a time when the boundary between our world and the spirit world became porous,
Yeah.
almost transparent.
That's a powerful image.
It is.
I can only imagine how that belief shaped their perception of this time of year.
Right.
What kind of practices did the Celts have during Samhain?
Yeah.
Did they fear this thinning of the veil, or did they embrace it?
It was a time of both reverence and caution.
Okay,
Think of bonfires blazing against the darkening sky,
I see.
offerings made to deities,
Mhm.
and rituals performed to honor the dead.
Right.
One striking belief was that during Samhain, the spirits of those who had passed away during the previous year would return home to visit their families.
Really?
It was both a time of communion with the departed and a time to appease potentially malevolent spirits.
So it wasn't just about warding off evil spirits,
No.
but also welcoming and honoring loved ones who had passed on.
Right.
This paints a much more nuanced picture of Samhain than the simple spooky image we often associate with Halloween today.
I agree.
How did this intricate festival evolve into the Halloween we celebrate now?
The journey from Samhain to Halloween is a fascinating one.
Okay.
As Christianity spread, it began to absorb and transform many pagan traditions. Some scholars suggest that the church strategically placed All Saints' Day on November 1st, hoping to overlay a Christian celebration onto the existing pagan one.
Interesting.
It's an interesting example of how cultures adapt and blend over time.
Yeah.
By the Middle Ages, Halloween had evolved,
Okay.
but you could still see glimpses of its Samhain roots.
For example, take the medieval practice of souling, where children would go door to door offering prayers for the dead in exchange for food.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds awfully familiar, doesn't it?
Precisely.
Yeah.
Souling is often considered a precursor to modern-day trick-or-treating.
Trick-or-treating.
Then in the 19th century, Irish immigrants fleeing the Great Famine brought their own Halloween traditions to North America,
Oh, okay.
further shaping the holiday's evolution.
Oh!
This added a new layer to the mix of Celtic Christian and folk practices.
So you're telling me that trick-or-treating,
Mm-hmm.
a practice so central to Halloween today,
Yeah.
has its roots in medieval prayers for the dead.
It does.
It makes you wonder how many other Halloween traditions have these hidden, deeper meanings we might not even be aware of.
That's the beauty of exploring these traditions.
Yeah.
There's always something new to uncover, layers of meaning waiting to be peeled back.
Right.
It's like an archaeological dig, but instead of uncovering ancient artifacts,
Yeah.
we're uncovering the cultural and spiritual significance behind the rituals we continue to practice today.
Yeah. That's really cool.
It is. It's
Yeah.
fascinating how those deeper meanings often reside in plain sight.
Hmm.
We might decorate our homes with spooky symbols without realizing their richer significance.
Like that grinning jack-o'-lantern on my porch.
Yeah.
It's become such a staple of Halloween. But it wasn't always about pumpkins, was it?
You're right. The tradition of carving lanterns to ward off evil spirits dates back centuries,
Okay.
long before pumpkins were even introduced to Europe.
Hmm.
Originally, they were carved from turnips,
Turtle.
beets, or potatoes.
Wow.
Anything that could hold a candle,
Ah.
cast a flickering light.
I can see how those flickering lanterns, especially in the days before electricity, would create an eerie and magical atmosphere.
Right.
But why the grotesque faces?
Well,
Was it simply to scare away evil spirits, or is there a deeper meaning behind those carved features?
the carved faces served a dual purpose.
Okay.
On a practical level, they were meant to frighten away malevolent spirits, acting as a protective barrier between the physical and spirit worlds.
Yep.
But on a symbolic level,
Yeah.
they represented the souls of the departed.
Really?
The light within the lantern symbolizing the eternal flame of the spirit. It's a potent image. The flickering light of the soul pushing back against the encroaching darkness.
It's amazing how such a simple object can hold so much meaning.
I think so.
And speaking of those deeper levels of meaning, you mentioned earlier that Halloween has an esoteric side.
Yes.
A realm of hidden symbols and mystical practices.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Can you give us an example of an esoteric Halloween symbol and its hidden meaning?
Take the black cat, for instance.
Cats.
Often associated with bad luck in popular culture.
Right.
In many esoteric traditions, the black cat is revered as a symbol of mystery, intuition, and connection to the unseen world.
So more than just a Halloween decoration.
Yes?
The black cat represents a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms, a symbol of those hidden forces at play during this time of year.
Precisely. And just as Halloween embraces both the light and the dark,
Yeah.
the black cat embodies that duality,
Okay.
representing both the unknown and the potential for spiritual insight and transformation.
This idea of transformation is interesting.
Yes.
Earlier we talked about the Celtic belief in the thinning veil between the worlds during Samhain, but you also mentioned the concept of metaphorical death.
Right.
How does that relate to Halloween?
Halloween isn't just about honoring those who have physically passed on.
I see.
It's also about recognizing the cycles of death and rebirth that occur within our own lives.
Okay.
It's a time to reflect on what we need to let go of: old habits, limiting beliefs, past hurts, to make space for new beginnings.
So it's like using the energy of Halloween, this time when the veil is thin and transformation is in the air,
Yeah,
to shed our old selves and step into a new phase of life. It's
exactly.
almost like a symbolic shedding of skin,
Yes,
a chance to evolve and grow.
exactly. And this ties in beautifully with the natural world. Autumn, the season in which Halloween falls, is a time of decay and decomposition.
Right.
But it's also a time of preparation for new growth in the spring.
It's a reminder that endings are necessary for new beginnings,
It is.
that even in darkness, there's always the promise of light.
Absolutely.
And speaking of darkness and light, you mentioned earlier that the date of November 1st has special significance in numerology.
It does.
Can you elaborate on that? I have to admit, numerology is something I know very little about.
Certainly in numerology, the date November 1st, written as 111,
11-1.
is significant because it features the number 11.
11.
Now, 11 is considered a master
The
number
master number.
associated with intuition, spiritual awakening, and a heightened connection to the divine.
So it's not just a random date on the calendar,
Right.
but a day that amplifies the spiritual energy already present during Halloween.
Exactly.
What does this mean for those who are interested in exploring the esoteric side of Halloween?
Yeah.
Does this amplified energy make it a good time for specific practices or rituals?
Absolutely. Many people find that the energy of Halloween, particularly on November 1st, is potent for activities like meditation, intention setting, and divination.
Oh, wow.
It's a time when the veil between the worlds is thin and our intuition is heightened,
Right.
making it easier to connect with our inner wisdom and access spiritual guidance.
So in a sense, Halloween becomes a portal to a deeper level of consciousness, a time to explore those aspects of ourselves that might usually remain hidden.
You could say that.
Yeah.
It's a time to embrace the unknown, to confront our fears, and to connect with the deeper mysteries of life and death.
Right.
It's about recognizing that there's more to reality than what meets the eye, and that by tapping into that unseen world, we can unlock a greater understanding of ourselves and the universe around us.
We've covered so much ground in this deep dive, from ancient Celtic rituals to modern-day esoteric practices.
It has been a journey.
It really has.
Through time.
It's amazing to see how a holiday we often associate with candy and costumes has such deep roots in our collective human experience. But I have to ask, what does it all mean for us today? How can we connect with the deeper meaning of Halloween in a way that feels relevant to our modern lives?
That's an important question.
Yeah.
And I think the answer lies in recognizing that Halloween, despite its modern trappings, still offers us a unique opportunity
Okay.
to engage with those big existential questions we often push aside in our daily lives.
Right.
It invites us to think about our own mortality, our connection to those who have passed on, and the nature of the unseen world.
You know, you're right. It's like Halloween gives us permission to explore those deeper, perhaps even uncomfortable aspects of life that we might not normally engage with.
Right.
It's a chance to acknowledge the darkness, both literally and metaphorically, and find a sense of meaning and connection within it.
Exactly. And I think that's where the true value of Halloween lies.
Yeah.
It's not just about spooky decorations and scary costumes. It's about tapping into something primal within us, something that recognizes the cyclical nature of life and death, the interplay of light and shadow, and the interconnectedness of all things.
It strikes me that Halloween is a bit like a cultural mirror, reflecting our evolving relationship with these profound concepts.
I agree.
While the way we celebrate might change over time,
Yes.
those core themes of mortality, spirituality, and the unseen world remain remarkably consistent.
I couldn't agree more. And that's why I find it so fascinating to explore the evolution of Halloween traditions.
Right.
By tracing the threads of these practices back through time, we gain a deeper understanding not only of the holiday itself, but also of ourselves and our place in the grand scheme of things.
So as we carve our pumpkins, don our costumes, and perhaps even tell a few ghost stories,
Yeah.
we're actually participating in a tradition that's been unfolding for centuries.
Yes, we are.
It's a way to connect with those who came before us, to honor their beliefs and practices, and to find our own meaning within this ancient celebration.
A beautiful thought, isn't it?
It is.
That even in our modern world, we still carry these echoes of the past, these threads of tradition that bind us together across generations. And perhaps by engaging with them consciously, we can rediscover a sense of wonder and connection that transcends the everyday.
This has been such an enlightening deep dive. I feel like I have a whole new perspective on Halloween.
Oh, good.
Not just as a fun holiday, but as a rich tapestry of human experience and spiritual explorations.
It's been a pleasure to explore these ideas with you, and I'm left wondering, as we prepare for Halloween this year, how will you choose to connect with its deeper meaning?
Yeah.
Perhaps it's through a personal ritual, a moment of quiet reflection, or simply a renewed appreciation for the rich symbolism and history behind the holiday.
Right.
Whatever your approach, I encourage you to embrace the mystery, honor the ancestors, and celebrate the cycle of life and death that makes Halloween such a unique and powerful time of year.
That's a beautiful sentiment to end on. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the heart of Halloween. We hope it sparked your curiosity and inspired you to look beyond the surface of this ancient and ever-evolving holiday. And if you're feeling adventurous, we invite you to share your own Halloween traditions, reflections, or discoveries with us. We'd love to hear how you're connecting with the magic of this season. Happy Halloween, everyone.